If it gets really bad, I can go in Bluetooth mode. It's just the sound is really terrible in Bluetooth for some reason on this headset.
That's before my dog comes back.
Oh, God.
Am I chewing too loud? Tell me, because I don't know what I hear.
Fuck's my phone? Where the fuck's my drink? Getting old sucks.
Where have you left it?
It's alright, Monk. You'll survive. We are missing. Silver is not on roll, or it says silver isn't on roll 20 for me.
Why does it say that? Because I've already put up my character sheet.
Okay, so it's a bug then. All right, that's fine.
Oh, it's on the couch.
Oh, no.
Got it.
Alrighty, get the map up here. All right, so following your meeting with the counselor, a little bit of an echo there for a second. And there's a notification. All right, following your meeting with the council member and his associate, Eladin has suggested that you post haste make your way to his childhood / young adulthood home, and before his father has informed the household that he is no longer a member of the family. Eladin has some business he'd like to attend to here, some sabotage, maybe just some information gathering of the sorts. So before you would arrive, it would take probably, I think we determined an hour or something to walk there. Well,
You went quiet again.
Yeah, I think his mic cut off. I thought it was my headset at first because my headset's the same thing.
Nope, it was me. Okay, so you would have plenty of time to discuss entry possibilities and for Eladin to share the layouts and such. You guys are welcome to discuss that at this point before we actually move to the map for entry and such.
Does anyone have that tattoo of Masquerade, whatever it's called, that lets you make it whatever you want?
I can switch my outward form at will. But I rather think me being me would be better.
What's the name of that tattoo?
I do believe it is Masquerade.
I think it's the Masquerade tattoo.
The one that lets you cast Disguise Self?
Disguise Self.
No,
yeah, Masquerade.
That's not what I'm thinking of. Maybe it is that one. Let me pull it up quickly. The tattoo that lets. Whatever the tattoo is called, it lets you just change its tattoo shape at will.
Oh, that was Masquerade as well.
Oh, that is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason I was asking if anyone had it is if there's anything important, like a document, we can Masquerade tattoo the document onto our body and then just have it under our armor.
We absolutely can. However, it's not something I'm in possession of.
Yeah, that's what I'll see if.
However,
yes, I don't remember anybody having that.
I do have parchment, and I do have a quill. So,
copy paste, mid-level version.
If the ink is cold, I can warm it up.
That is excellent to know.
Is that a thing?
Girl, maybe you don't go somewhere.
I don't know. Does cold ink flow? I mean, it would probably be more viscous and harder to write with.
It is.
Calligraphy. All right. So, yes, how would you like your setup for entering the premises?
I do have a suggestion. There have been occasions in the past where I have entertained people, singular and groups of people. There is provisions to entertain within the household. Perhaps I am, and I point at Effie, entertaining a Kaladeshi noble, for instance, with her entourage, in motion to the rest of you. Give you a tour of the household itself. Make an excuse to, and he winks at Lee. Retire to my chambers, which are directly opposite a door to my father's office.
Sorry.
Whilst Effie herself does a marvellous job of distracting the household servants and guards.
I mean, if you need a
I
distraction,
think
I'm
that's a
your
great
guy.
plan.
We are attempting not to burn the house down.
But I'm also a druid. I can shapeshift.
You can,
Wasn't-
yes.
Wasn't
I
just
was-
talking about setting things on fire. Jeez, you're
Fire
racist,
spider.
you know that?
Just checking.
He's not a one trick pony. He's a two trick pony.
I kind of think
There
you're
is-
really
Like
racist
a
right
dog.
now.
There is a side option. If you were wanting somebody to
Burn the house down.
speak about, you
Nope.
know, not be known to be on the premises, somebody could feasibly climb in through the balcony in the master quarters around the back of the house. It's left unlocked, or we could let you in, most certainly.
I love you. Stop trying to eat my crackers.
I rather
I'm-
think that's our best option. If this turns into a fight, we are severely outnumbered and overpowered.
Look, I'm here for the group. So whatever you need me to do, fire, not fire, prefer the fire aspect. I'm your guy.
Also, on that note, a rather good, while we're walking through the city, a rather good distraction may be fireworks of some form. You know, loud noises, something for the staff to watch.
Noises. What do I got under my sleeve for that?
If anybody knows where we can purchase some, that would be excellent.
Atlee looks directly
Well,
towards.
I have prestidigitation, so if we need some shower of sparks, I can do that.
Yeah. In your walk, you would roll me a d100.
Damn it.
He said, "Damn it."
Roll well.
Yeah, you don't. You pay pretty close attention, and you don't like walk by
Yeah.
an explosives store or somewhere
Yeah.
that sells like party stuff.
You know what I just remembered?
But there are, of
It's a
course, lots of
crowbar.
ways to replicate stuff like that using
Yeah.
spells and such.
Atlee, what? Sorry?
Atlee has a crowbar.
That.
You do have a
Well.
crowbar! A gold one.
What is that?
A gold.
The crowbar of destiny.
All I'm saying is, I told you guys to buy a crowbar and it's going to be useful, and it looks like it is.
So, I'd rather like to know who we think may be best at searching the office once we get there. Anybody feel proficient in investigation?
No.
As far
But-
as investigation, perception wise, Atlee and Zane. Oh, you also have very good passive perception, don't you, Ellen? No,
I don't.
yours is a
No,
20.
I don't. No,
Okay, Atlee has a 20. Zane has a 17. I'm not sure what.
My investigation is a +4.
All right.
Anybody beat that?
Beat what?
+4 investigation.
I got +1, baby.
I can beat it if you drop it down to +0, because that's what I got.
Yeah, okay, so it looks like it might be me and Atlee, as we are most observant, I feel, in different ways.
Yes, in different
Very
ways.
perceptive.
Which is
All right.
excellent, given your dress, because I would also like to visit the armory whilst we're there and perhaps, acquire some things that we may use. May as well take what we can while we're there. And your get up in your armor goes well to passing that off, I think.
Kind of just also telling the group the ability to charm personnel, as well as maybe make them bigger or maybe make them smaller, is another skill I do have.
Excellent.
You do have charm person, yes.
I'd
Mhm.
command.
And you have command, both helpful in situations that you potentially could run into.
And I think we could possibly
Not
leave
Tron person.
leave Effie and Zane down
Question.
in the room as I give Atlee a tour of the estate.
Is it a
Whilst
thing
ending up
to?
in my private quarters and using a distraction to enter the office itself.
Could I? Is it a thing to enlarge a flaming sphere? Has that ever been done?
They're both concentration, I believe.
Fuck. Man, you're a packer of all parties, man.
Could you enlarge someone else's flaming spear?
Yes, possibly.
Does that even work?
No,
Don't
I'm not
know.
sure. What is enlarge? Creature or object? Is the flaming spear a creature or object?
Question would be, is it an object
Plasma.
or a magical effect?
Sounds like an object of fire.
I guess we'll figure it out. I would probably allow it. We'll figure that out whenever if we get to that point. All right.
Sorry.
So at this point, everybody is coming in the front door, unless it sounds like unless you want to send Kundali out into the back. The rest of you seem committed to the front. Or Zane shapeshifted could, of course, go anywhere.
Yeah, whatever you need me to
Choice
do.
what you
I know
think
I've been
is best.
absent for a
However, I
while.
think Zane might be better as a distraction, as he puts it himself. A flame show might be
Just shape
something to
shift
distract
into a
people.
dog.
I mean, wherever you need me, whatever you need me to do.
Does does Happy have any input onto where Kundali would he enter with everyone else? Does he have any desire to sneak around?
I don't really have a desire to sneak around. If I find that I need to sneak around, I'll just leave.
Okay.
Excellent.
Just
Through the
leave-
front door
walk
it
out.
is.
He'll just leave. He'll vanish. All right. Then
It's another magic
that's
trick, it's fine.
sounds like everyone's coming in the front door there, and I will move you all.
Atlee's very excited to take this walk around of Elodin's house.
Kundali would ask why.
Because Elodin's gonna show Atlee some very cool places around the house that are potentially quite useful to Elodin and our party as well. If you are talking, yes.
His mic.
Yeah, that's what I.
He stopped
that's what I was
flexing his
gonna
neck.
say.
All right, I am back again. I do really apologize for that. That is going to be very annoying if it keeps doing that. Alrighty, I will move you guys to the map then. You didn't find any fireworks on the way by, but there are, still stores and such. Was there anything anybody wanted to pick up?
I am.
The party needs to look official-ish. Does anybody not? I believe most of us do.
I mean, what's your definition of looking official?
Well, you are currently the entourage of a lady of quite import in Kaladesh.
I have armor of gleaming, so it's very, very clean
Yes.
looking and very fancy looking.
Kundali's fairly smart, if slightly underdressed.
Ooh.
Zane
Like
put
a
together
different
or
armor.
rougher looking? Question.
So I picked up a lot of fabric. I'm gonna cut tiny squares very quickly, try to stitch them up, and then tie them like around either your armor or your sleeves, so everyone knows you're with me and that you all look fantastic. I want us to be uniform and cute.
I spent the time walking along, prestidigitating and just tucking things in and tidying people up as we walk.
Yeah.
Oh, can I buy a parasol?
Sure.
Yes. Okay. How much is that going to set me back? How much
Just a really pretty one. 10 gold. Sure.
Okay.
Holy,
Yay!
And maybe it's magical. I'm gonna roll.
that's a
I'm
that's
on
a
a roll.
fancy
Nope.
pair of gold.
I rolled a 14. It's not magical.
Let's see.
Yay! I believe.
I am.
It's golden, okay? Golden parasol. Holy.
Yes. As you approached, I got closer to the Manticore's home. There would be some higher class shops. So you definitely overcharged. You were overcharged for it, but it is quite fancy.
Yay! I need something
was-
to block this.
It was one of those window shopped items. It was on display.
That
Ooh,
sounds like
awesome.
something that Sophia would do.
All right.
Sounds like something-
As you approach, you're greeted by a very large 2-story cathedral-like building. It's got spires and it's especially clean. There is a, if you will, what would you call it? Not gated. Yeah, it's kind of a walled-in yard that expands around most of the building itself. There are gaps, like iron bars, gaps. There's also lanterns, very frequently. So it is daylight. I have the map set to not daylight, just because a lot of the interiors wouldn't have daylight. So I threw a bunch of lanterns and lights and stuff down.
Mm.
There are, of course, sections of the building that will be less lit than other sections. And all right, as you approach, the door is actually open. Let me fix that. And you're able to hear a fairly, from a fairly long distance off, you're able to hear a plethora of voices that are just talking in excitement and chit-chatting, and there's greetings and just the sing-songy voices of people in amidst good conversation. So you approach and you see in the entrance.
I wonder if he knows if he cuts out like instantly or if he just keeps talking.
No, he just keeps talking. Definitely talking to himself at this point.
Mhm.
I honestly, because I know when my headset turns off, I don't realize it.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I don't know if he's talking. It doesn't know. Because I've done that for like 10 minutes before and I felt really awkward.
I have definitely been talking when I've muted my microphone before for a very long. I think it was nearly half an hour in one game.
Oh. I remember doing that one game. I thought everyone just community decided to ignore me. I'm like, wow, I feel bad.
Is nobody listening to me? I'm giving ideas. No. Am I just really that bad at
and
idea?
Atlee
Oh,
is
right,
looking
yeah,
around
okay.
with Eladin.
Check, check. Check, check. Checkity, check, check, check. Can you hear me? I cannot hear anyone else. You can hear me, but I can't hear you now. Wonderful. All right. Let me try to fix that. Voice and video.
Awesome.
Yep, working.
Ooh, headphones? Headphones?
Such
All
a
right.
cluster.
I can now hear you, and you can hear me.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Is the audio okay? Is it like really
Yeah.
quiet or something?
Nope.
No, it's good.
No,
It's fine with me.
it's good.
All
Solid.
right.
better.
Good. It's working. yes. No more. Should not. It should be fully charged because it's been plugged in. It should be fine now.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
We type the answers. Yes, type the answers to the answered question. All right. Okay. So you guys are approaching up this beautifully manicured walkway, and the door is open. And you're able to see in the inside. There's a couple ladies and a couple lords in amongst what looks to be two servants or three servants. My apologies, and two of the building's guards that are flanking these doorways up here.
Given my socialite wanderings, do I recognize any of the lords and
Not offhand. They're maybe you've seen them once or twice in the past, but you're not like on first name basis.
Yeah.
They're fairly, you would say, low tier in the grand scheme of like the city. But they are lords and ladies, and well dressed, and they speak how lords and ladies do.
I'm going to quickly, in Effie's head, realize that I've not established a cover name for her and ask her what she'd like to be called.
Oh shit.
That's an interesting name.
Late. Yeah, it's it's very unique spelling. You spell it with an N and two P's. Why is this hard for me? I have like 18 names. Amarith. There we go.
Lady Amarith of Caladay.
Mm-hmm. That sounds believable. Now, how long will I remember this? We shall see.
I have already forgotten. Aladeth?
Amarith.
Amareth. Write that down right now. Amareth. Okay.
I don't even think I spelled it right. That's a
I
problem.
gotta smell that.
And do I get
All
the
right.
feeling this is a social gathering?
You do. That's they do seem to be making the calling upon the inhabitants of the house. You wouldn't necessarily know if they were invited or if they just showed up, but you do see Francis directly ahead, who is your confidant, if you will. You've grown up with Francis. You have had many long conversations with the old man. You would consider him a friend, if not a close friend. The other two servants you can see, Bethany over here is typically in stable management. She runs the horses around and takes care of like carriages and the such. So you're not entirely sure why she would be inside. And then Sinclair up here is one of the wait staff or guest relations. So he's he directly interacts with people that visit and such like that. So he like leads them around and all that. All right.
Take
Yes.
Effie.
I've already forgotten all these people's names.
I will take Effie by the arm and walk in like I own the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to close my parasol and hand it to you. So you need to find someone to hand that off to because I'm obviously too important. We finished our walk. You need to take care of that for me.
All right. As Eldin enters the building, which you are welcome to do so, you overhear a conversation between Francis and the guests. He'll welcome. It's good to see everyone again. I will say that dinner is a mite tad bit delayed, but if you will, be so kind as to follow Sinclair, he shall take you to the dining hall. Francis gives a slight bow and gestures to Sinclair behind him, who stands at attention, ready and with a gesturing to his this way, to his right. I guess based on this map, it's left, but he's facing towards you, so his right.
Atlee, as one of the heavily armed people, decides to act as the guard of the entourage and walks up behind everyone. And as he does, he tries to maintain correct it's not ethics, etiquette of, I guess, know people. So to do that, he has his shoulders back, he has his chest puffed out slightly, his core is activated, and his glutes are also tight as well. So he has a perfectly straight line, standing up straight as he looks over both the behind and the front of both Eladin and Amaranth.
All right. So at this point, after Francis addresses the group that was ahead of you, he catches eye of Eladin. You see there's a slight start in his eyes, maybe a twinkle. He clearly knows who you are. You've known each other forever. He, after the crew in front of you, which I will grab here, they make their ways, and they all head off in this direction. I will fix that. Francis steps forward, and he raises. So he tucks his arm. I don't know. He addresses you in a very familiar-like way. Eladin, my boy, it's been so long. What has caused you to grace us with your presence? He will move forward as if for an embrace.
And I go in and hug him back. Nice to see you, Francis. It has been a short while, yes. I have friends I wish to entertain for the evening. However, I see we already have guests.
Yes, they are using the main hall, or the main dining room, but there is, of course, the great room if you really wish to have your space, or even the ballroom upstairs if you'd like.
I'd rather think something a little more intimate for Lady Amaranth here. She's of Kaladesh visiting. Perhaps the family room?
Yes, we can make do with that. I will, of course, alert the chef that we have extra guests this evening.
It is excellent, Francis. If you could lead us the way, it would be appreciated.
Yes, sir. You will.
I will motion to Bethany and say, find somewhere for this if you would, and hand her the parasol.
She takes it, as well as she had previously taken the coats of the previous guests that were just here. So she is quite heavy laden at the moment.
I will look at one of the guards and say, give Bethany a hand, would you? The woman clearly cannot carry everything by herself.
The two knights, as they are, share glances between the two. They're unhelmeted. Both of their faces are visible. They share a glance between the two of them, and the one on your left gives a slight shrug and does help Bethany, takes about a couple coats and the parasol off of her, and they both will retreat to the left-hand side. And then Francis will walk back through the main hall and lead you towards the family room, which will be just up here.
Mm-hmm. I will motion for everybody to follow.
I'm just going to stick with Kundali. Trying not to touch everything, and I'm going to keep my fire as low
Off
and
the
controlled as
Chromebook.
possible.
Oh, are you stuck? You look like you were stuck.
I am stuck.
Oh, she ran into the
You're
wall.
no longer stuck. She
I
did.
don't know how I
It's,
don't know how I accomplished it.
the walls aren't perfectly square. The grid is not
That's all right.
perfectly lined up, so some of the walls will do that.
That's right.
All right. Francis will open the door to the family room and gesture for you guys to enter. It's a very cozy looking room. There are several lit candles and a fireplace in the rear that is blasting from it a warmth that just it enters the bones and you feel invigorated a little bit. It's a very cozy room. There are, of course, spirits, wine racks, and such here. And there are 2 statues in the far corners. And the couches.
I'm gonna stay by the fire. kind of feel like I need to.
Maybe
Okay,
the
so
salamander.
please make yourself comfortable while I make arrangements. What? I step back out into the hallway with Francis. I step
At least
behind
Gonna
him,
head over to the spirits.
close the
Oh.
door to the main entrance.
Atlee is going to guard the door.
Gundli says to Zane, the salamander would want to be with the flame, wouldn't he?
That's my wildfire spirit, man. Chill. You're ruining the vibe.
Oh my gosh.
I've missed so many sessions. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just trying to be part of it. So,
We are basically burglarizing my father's office after he has disowned me in order to get information on why he's attempting to become, why and how he's attempting to force his way into becoming king.
okay, see,
Watch this-
now I'm all
watch
caught
this
up.
become like
Mhm.
flu,
So just-
and we have to
let's
solve
just-
a murder.
Yeah.
What's the code word to just cause hell?
No. There is no code word. That no. You will
Word is
die.
ma!
The code word is bubbles.
On the
The
way
code word is
here, I
bubbles.
could not have made it more clear that if we cause an issue, get into a fight, we will die.
There are very powerful wizards
So
here.
the
Never mind.
Oh,
the
that's
fact
right.
code word is
about
still
I forgot about that.
20 to like 40 guards on call.
Somebody roll me a d4. I forgot about that.
Oh boy.
Nope.
Oh, I want to do it. I want to do it.
Okay, do it.
That's
Nice.
a 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So that just determined which wizard was on hand. So I'm going to move the other 3.
Oh, that's a TPK
Standby.
right there.
Yes, everybody,
I see him.
fireball!
We're going to die.
All right. That was
worry
just
about
a little short thing there. All right. Yeah. So that's what they're up to, Monk. The goal is to not. Also, I believe Eladin mentioned his mother does stay here on occasion, and he still cares for his mother, so he didn't really want to, destroy where she lives.
Let's please not damage, there are certain things, but let's not damage the majority of the property.
Majority.
Zane would notice that the fireplace, since you were standing right next to it, that the smokestack is easily climbable. It's definitely of a size where if you wanted to, you could climb up the smokestack. So just for future reference, in case you needed to know that.
Well, I know my exit. If
Once
the word bubbles gets said, I know my exit.
we're back in the corridor and I've closed the doors, I'm going to take Francis's hand in mine
God,
Um,
Luna.
and just say,
Girl, hush.
Francis, my friend, this will be my last visit.
A look of concern comes over his face.
I'm afraid my father and I had a rather large disagreement. And he has, I'm sure you can keep this to yourself for the short time I am here, disowned me from the family.
He does. He looks mildly shocked, but not maybe as shocked as you might expect him to look.
Yeah. I have a little business here tonight with my friends here. Maybe something more along a personal level with one of them, but just wish to take advantage while I still have the time.
Yes. This is very disturbing news. I had heard whispers of something of the sort, but I hoped it wasn't true. Your mother, does she know? Have you talked to her?
Not as of yet. I don't suppose she's here.
she is not. She's away on a missions in the missions field. She was rescuing uh, pandas. she's doing something far away. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I expected as much, and I will hope to catch up with her when she returns. But for now, let's not worry her and make haste home. No need. I'll be fine on my own. I've made some friends and connections. But back to the point. While we're here, just looking for a good time.
Yes, of course. I will. I will alert. Sinclair would have alerted the chef at this point that he must prepare more food. We're having roast duck this evening, one of your favorites, if I do recall.
Excellent. I do hope I get the time to sample some. It will be a nice farewell.
Yes.
If I may, just rather hoping to give the handsome man in armour a little tour of the premises. The staffing levels on the upper floor.
Yes, the Blackguard is in hand. He is of course near the armory at all times, at least in recent days, that is.
Of course. I don't suppose you could ask him, just him being the head guard of the lady, rather interested in weaponry. A little tour around the armory might go a long way to ingratiate myself with him. Would be appreciated.
Would you like me to notify him that he may have a guest? Or would you like? As he may take it. Well, I'm not sure how he would actually. Yeah, so he's offering to bequeath the Blackguard on your behalf, or suggest or asking if you would like to just pop in.
I would rather give the impression to my interest that I have the run of the place rather than being restricted from any one area. Gives a little air of importance. So if you could bequeath him on my behalf, that would be very much appreciated. And then, of course, all goes well. I may want some private time in my old quarters.
Of course. I will get right on that. I'll be sure to talk to the Blackguard myself. He's been a little irritable lately, but he likes me well enough.
Very much appreciated, Francis. A friend as always.
Do you still have your key for your outer bedroom? I don't believe they've changed the locks.
Do, of course.
Good. They do keep it under bolt and key.
Yes, of course. But I will make sure to leave it with you on my way out. It's not something I wish to keep a hold of.
I understand. He gives a low, like a solemn look. He frowns slightly, but then a big smile fills his face as he makes the comment that, "Oh, what good days we did have in the past. I will remember you as those days once were. Eladin, it has been an honor to serve you."
And I must say it's been an honor to be raised by you, Francis.
Small bit of tears appears in his eyes, and he embraces you again.
I hug him back just for a short while, and then I pat him on the back. Now, let's not spoil the evening. We have enjoyment to be had. And, make sure the staff have some enjoyment on me as well. A last farewell. Guards included, if they wish.
Yes. He wipes the tears from his eyes and becomes his regular stellar self. Well, I've got some business to do, it seems. I'll alert the Blackguard that you have a companion who has interest in the armory, and I'll be sure to bring the food shortly.
Excellent. Thank you, Francis. As always, can be relied upon. I will just make my way back into the room.
And Francis will exit.
Get back in.
Yes.
I
Silver, you
Sorry, go ahead.
are. Yeah. It's There does seem to be a pretty good selection. There are definitely older vintages. Probably, maybe there's like 150, or I don't know exactly how wines and stuff work. So 100, like whatever is considered a really, really, you would know of the area, whatever is considered a really good year that they had, like there was like an abundance and like the grapes were just perfect and everything like that. There's one bottle like that, like encased in like glass with like a pull cord. So it's like there's like a pulley and a pull cord, and it's attached to the top of this glass case. If you pull it, it lifts the glass off of it, and it sits there.
Oh, fancy. Is there a
Very.
Caledonian one?
There would be, yeah, there'd be a couple, but not in like a showy fashion like the special year one
The
is.
fancy one. As soon as Eldon walks in, I am going to ask them, do you think your father or your mother will miss this?
My mother certainly won't, and I don't think I care if my father does. Help yourself, my dear.
Perfect. I yank that bad boy open. Like,
Then I'm gonna look at Atlee and go, I assume you heard through the door?
With that spectacular passive perception, he absolutely would have.
Sorry, I'm chewing a slice of pizza right now.
Yay, food!
Yes, I heard their conversation to the door at Eladin.
I hope you're okay with it. Seemed the easiest method to get us both up there.
I think that works for me with the armory.
Well, everybody make yourself comfortable. The food will be along shortly, and hopefully our, looking back at Atlee, invitation to the armory may be forthcoming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just playing with the fireplace.
I am going to stand next to Atlee, listening for somebody approaching the doorway. The minute they do, I'm going to start acting as if I'm flirting with him.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh.
I love this. He called you handsome earlier. Did you not hear that?
Seriously, did you hear the conversation?
I did hear that. I just. All right.
We're going to be ending up in my private quarters, Atlee.
I mean,
Signs were there.
Not gonna lie, that just didn't click in my head when I was listening. I was like, oh, I guess
I
Eldon
heard
wants to like check his room and get some stuff.
Nope, that's not what he was insinuating.
No.
Hey,
No.
Atlee is
Up in his
Atlee
private
is.
room getting a private tour when he's supposed to be entertaining me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Big old ship sign right here. I'm
You whore.
Eladon, most certainly.
the
I'm picking up what
insult
you're
that
putting
I
down.
feel as supposed to be entertained, and you're like, I'm going off of my boo. That's okay. You left me with this wine. It's A-OK. But I'm not gonna drink a lot because it's supposed
the
to be
turn order
concentrated.
is just for my use at the moment, so I can move
Mhm.
patrols around and such as we play.
Do you want us to join it?
No, not at this moment. It's not imperative that you do until some sort of conflict arises, which means you may
Okay,
not
so
need
in
it
10
at
minutes,
all.
y'all. Yeah, he said in 10 minutes, y'all. Mentally
While we
prepare
wait,
yourselves.
I'm gonna look over to Zane and I'm gonna ask him what brought you to this side of the continent.
wait, what?
He's asking for your backstory.
I didn't hear you. You were quiet, super quiet.
What brought you over to this side of the continent?
I think it had to do with something of my parents being murdered. Yes. Yes, I'm here.
The answer is yes.
There's a backstory somewhere in the midst of something somewhere. Yeah, we'll get back to it. We're gonna put a pin in it, and we're gonna come back to. We're gonna circle back to it.
If you don't want me to pry, I won't.
I it's not the truth is there's really no backstory for Zane. I just made Zane to play this campaign.
In character, I'm just saying, if you don't want me to pry, it won't. We'll just move on.
You can pry all you want to. You let me know if you get anything out of it, because I don't know.
All right, roll me a persuasion check. Kundali.
Wait, no. Trying to convince him. Tell me anything.
I know. It would just be. It's just a roundabout way of seeing how much like information he actually shares, since we don't have that like written down. And unless you don't want to, you get about 50% of the truth out of Zane. Maybe he mumbles a little bit and you can't hear him, or he's telling some stories that sound pretty outlandish.
Yeah.
But you believe him at least a little bit.
Good.
What about you, Kundali? What made you end up with us?
He takes a moment and thinks.
Enormous
Takes a
guy.
moment, puts his fingers to his chin, like think.
Yeah. It's not nice when the shoe's on the other foot, huh? Or
That's
whatever
a
that's
very
saying.
long story.
I think it turns to you with puppy dog eyes, like, are we sharing stories? Let's hear.
I came here looking for new opportunities. And that's as much as I'd feel comfortable saying.
Certainly a place to find them.
Thea pats your knee in like a comforting gesture.
I promise to
Kundali.
do my best to give you as many opportunities as possible, Kundali. Any connections you need making, I'm fairly adept at it, so you just ask.
I will if I need them.
All right. The kitchen staff are moving around. The dining hall is all set up. All right. So you enjoy your drinks, unless there's something else you really wanted to accomplish while you're in here. We'll say like 15 or 20 minutes pass.
Do they have small like airplane bottles?
Oh, like like individual like pocket shots. Probably
Right.
not. Probably not.
Damn. I was listening. I was ready to start thinking, putting some hands out there and be like, I might not be a rogue, but I can be one today.
Are there any like utensils here, like silverware, knives, or stuff in the room?
Yeah. Underneath the, they will. I imagine they'll bring those to you with the food. But there is a selection of stuff underneath the wine carriage. There's drawers and such with.
Is
It
there
is.
water in here too?
Is there water? Yes, there would be.
Yep.
Also, very close by there.
Atlee will
cool.
grab a
Then
steak
sip
knife
that too.
and hide it in his armor.
Ooh, okay. A steak knife.
And I will look for a carving fork.
There is indeed a carving fork as well. When you find it, you do notice that it's this is pretty high quality stuff. It's not silver, as this is the family room, and they probably wouldn't store the best cutlery where children potentially could be around. But these they're stainless. They're steel of some kind or another, so they're in good shape, but they're not like worth a ton.
If they cut, that's all that matters.
Yes, Kundali. The couch is very it's well worn, but it's very soft and cushiony. You sink a little as you sit. The carpet. You are not wearing shoes, if I remember right.
Yep.
The carpet is very lush and thick. All right. A short time later, You'll hear the door open in the hall.
Step close. Mr. Atlee.
That's a good question.
Any coins in those
And-
couch cushions?
You can make an investigation check if you'd like.
Sure, why not? Maybe coins.
There is a singular platinum piece that you find.
Wow, nice.
Yay!
It's my
It
father's
is a
house.
bougie room.
Seriously. Losing a platinum down the couch cushions? Yeah, that fits in really well.
I'll take it. Man, that's 10 gold coins.
Alright. So it'll just be no. She'd come with him. There's a knock on the door.
Enter.
Wow, that's a heavy butt knock. Sorry.
The door opens, and standing before you is a fairly average-sized dwarf, which Eladin would recognize as Palmer, and a young woman following him, which you wouldn't recognize because she is a fairly new addition to the household. Palmer will. They're both carrying trays, like server-style kind of thing. They do have the silverware and the food. They don't carry any drinks or anything because there are drinks in the room. Eladin, you fine fellow! Long time no see. I'd shake your hand, but they're a little full. You mind if I bring these in?
Not at all, Palmer, please. If you would, just on the tables. Help yourself, people. Enjoy whilst you're here.
They will both deposit their trays, and Sabrina will return to the door and exit and wait for Palmer. But Palmer stands a moment longer, waiting for anyone who wishes to partake, for them to try the meal to see if there's any problems.
My attention is with Atlee, whispering in his ear, just touching his armor.
Palmer will observe that, but make no comment. All right, if there's no problems, I've got to get back.
Not at all. I will hold my hand out to Palmer as he's passing on the way out the door to shake it.
I'm gonna taste something while he's in here because I don't know if we still need my distraction. So I'm gonna taste something. See what it is. I'm unsure what's before me.
It is a miniature duck that has been broiled up with vegetables and herbs and spices, and to go with it, it's got a side of like roasted potatoes, and there's a half of like a corn on the cob with it as well.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Palmer if they have any pomegranate. Don't ask.
Pomegranate.
Just go with.
I love pomegranate juice.
Right. It will go so well with the duck.
He thinks for a moment and responds, I'd have to check with my wife Nora. His drinks are not my specialty. I'm more of a mead kind of guy than any fruit juice. Although mead is probably made of fruit, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Generally, fruit and honey.
But I'm just saying, if you were having something, if we're having this luxurious looking duck, I think pomegranate juice would go divinely with it. I'm sure.
I think that's a very excellent suggestion, Lady Amaranth. If we do Palmer, it would be appreciated. On that note, we could perhaps have a small platter of some more finer fruit sent up to my personal quarters in a little while. Then, as he's slowly making his way out the door, whispering to him, I don't suppose there's word on my visit to the armory come back.
No, I've heard of no visit to the armory. He will raise an eyebrow at the food being sent to your personal quarters, but he does not seem to have any objection to that. But if you'd like, I can check in. I do believe Francis was. He walked off. He didn't tell me where he was going, though. I would have to assume he is doing that.
No, yes, no. I think I may make my way up there shortly. Anyway, my good friend here, give her a little wink, does rather enjoy weapons.
Atlee certainly nods to that.
All right, that's a wrap then. I will. He bows to the lady, Amarath, as you are calling him. Her. I will post haste check on that fruit juice of yours, and I shall return.
Thank you.
And
Thank
no,
you. That
Eladin does not recognize Sabrina. You know,
Okay.
she's clearly a servant, but
What does Sabrina look like?
Okay.
oh, I can bring her in.
She
here.
looks cute. Looks adorable. Look at that face. Precious.
It looks very cute.
I thought she
Well,
was an
thank you.
elf because I thought she had pointed ears.
Well,
And I
thank you
thought
for
she was
calling
a
that.
I thought she was a halfling for a second. Pointed ear.
You know what she's
I
not?
thought it was ears.
Fire Genasi.
Clearly, yes, she is indeed not a fire genasi. All right. They both exit, and you will have another couple minutes while the food is still hot before Palmer will return with the juice.
In this time, I'm going to say to my companions, I think it's time we start our tour. Actually. We will need a distraction at some point. I will send word for you to put on a show.
Okay.
What's Atlee's
Till
Well-
then, please enjoy yourself.
Atlee's what?
performance? +0. But that's okay. You don't necessarily have to do something with performance-wise, but we'll figure that out when it comes to it.
I'm hoping that's all on me. I'm hoping.
See, Atlee is really good at coming up with ideas to do, but he's really bad at acting them out.
His execution is poor, yeah.
That's very,
He's
hoping-
got a good brain, but a bad
very
everything
relatable.
else.
I'm hoping your awkwardness comes off in our favour. Hoping.
Oh, it's certainly going to. Hopefully.
I leave it sort of 5-ish minutes. And then, shall we?
I look over at Zane, and I ask him, "Do you plan on jumping in?"
I could.
We'd all prefer if you didn't.
You-
I move over to Zane. And I shepherd him towards the direction of Elder.
You know, the best part about the fire is it doesn't tell you what to do.
Okay. Right, that's most fire doesn't talk. That's true.
Right?
Most
All
fire.
right, I'll sit on the couch.
Couch is
Maybe
rather flammable. Just beware of your hair.
Look, see, this is why I was staying by the fire, okay?
You are more than welcome to sit on the couch.
You know what?
He won't. I look over at Eladin and I say he would not catch the couch on fire.
Just checking.
How about this chair right here? Is this more more stone than anything?
Zane, I believe you are self-controlled enough, and you know your inherent traits and limitations. You would not be setting anything on fire unless you intentionally do so.
I've experienced with
That's not to say that people won't joke about it, but yes, you don't just combust objects unless you feel the need to.
Eladin's going to giggle at him switching place and just say, I've known a fire genasi lady. She was adept at keeping her flames under control as well. I do kid, Zane. I do.
Okay. I'm gonna-
Palmer then approaches, and with him he does indeed have a pitcher of what appears to be pomegranate juice. That is what you asked for, right?
It is. It is.
Okay.
I wanted pomegranate seeds too, but I will take pomegranate juice because it would also pair nicely with the duck.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
He will leave it
I'm gonna
in the
nibble the
room
duck.
with you. It's very aromatic and tasty, and I don't have a ton of descriptive words for food, but it's very good.
Yay! Is the duck good? Or is it
Yes,
poison? Should I be worried that it's poison?
roll me a Constitution save. No, it doesn't. Does not. It does not seem. It does not seem to have any sort of poison effect to it.
Thank you, Fuzzy. I'll be struggling.
It's retroactively poisoned. um, Palmer will make one more comment before he goes to leave. I will take my regards to the chef if everyone is content with the food.
Absolutely stupendous as always, Palmer.
His wife
Nora.
Nora is the head chef.
Yeah, Nora is ever so talented.
Yes, tell her I would love a bottle of. Oh my gosh, she's adorable too. What's on her shoulder?
That's obviously Ratatouille.
It's Ratatouille.
Oh my god! Yay!
It is a
Her
mouse of
and her
sorts.
Ratatouille. Yeah, so again, her and Ratatouille let them know that they brewed an amazing pomegranate juice. It's delicious. It has all the nice subtle hints of the pomegranate without any of its seeds in it. A plus. I don't know what grading system they use in Kaladesh, but 100.
Thank you. I shall share that with her. Now I must get back. That rabble-rouse you've got in the other room is making quite a mess. I will send, of course, someone to clean and remove your dishes in post-haste whenever you feel that you've finished. He will bow, give a very deep bow.
Okay, if we need anything, though, will you be nearby, or?
Oh, I'm always about.
I don't want to hunt anybody down like I'm in a target.
The halls are fairly echoey, so if you'd like to yell my name, you're more than welcome to.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah.
And he will bow and exit.
Take this opportunity to exit with Atlee.
I follow right along.
Make 5 jokes.
Atlee follows right along.
All right, so you need to get to the staircase, and the closest staircase,
right outside in the hall.
Yes, just to your west.
Mm-hmm. And as I go, I will put my arm through Atlee's and guide him through, giving him a brief rundown of the architecture and, things to point out and things that are special and clearly on show, but all the while making direct beeline toward the armor.
Atlee will make comments about this stuff, kind of saying how interesting the decorations look, and just commenting about maybe a certain painting he saw that was a battle scene and thought it was really interesting, and mentioned his interest in that to Elodin.
Yes, one of the patrols was nearby while you guys were in the lobby there transferring. They seemed to pay you no mind. And then I will move you to the other stairs.
So we're going for, right? Not being...
Yep.
We're subtle.
Got
We're
it.
subtle people.
All right, I am going to leave you on the lower one so I don't have to copy paste you again.
Mm-hmm.
But this is your new location.
Oh, this is a big map. Oh, wow, this is a big one.
All right, climbing the stairs, Elodin does see a member of the, if you will, the higher tiered guards. Not the highest tier, but the knights below are they're proficient. Everybody's proficient, but these guys are like the stabbies. Yeah, he bears a shield and a spear, and he stands at attention.
I will, once we get to the top of the stairs, link arms with Atlee again and lead him towards the armory door, stopping at the guard, pointing out his armaments. This is quite clear, of course, we spend no expense in arming our security. The best of equipment for the best of people. Isn't that
Yeah.
right?
I will say the fastest way into the armory. So this room goes up into a hallway and then around to the door. If you go to the south, the Blackguard's door is here, and then it loops around to the door over here. So I guess either way is fine, unless you want to visit the, unless you want to make yourself known to the Blackguard before attempting to enter the armory itself.
I will, after making a spectacle of this guard, bring Atlee back down this way.
Francis will indeed be in the hallway in front of you, and he is speaking. Had just finished speaking with the Blackguard. You may have heard whispers or murmurs of the conversation, but your attention was focused elsewhere. Francis will turn to Eladin and gesture to the Blackguard. He has indeed agreed to see you and your finely clad fellow you've got.
Francis,
He does say you should be fairly quick though. He's quite busy.
it's okay. I think I have other places I'd rather be, but a quick tour, I think, sir. Mentioning to Atlee. If I may as well introduce the head of our estate security, and I'll just pop my head in the door.
Yes, I will remove Francis. Exits and heads back down the stairs. All right. Before we start that conversation, anything else from the members still present in the family room? You guys are welcome to move about the house. There are other guests. Potential to run into them. If there was somewhere you wanted, you can refer back to the maps we have already posted in the Discord. If there was anything you wanted to visit or anything towards like the goal of getting into the room.
Yeah, that map's not it.
You would be okay at this point too. One of the other, we will move Sinclair back over to you guys. So one of the wait staff will pop in over at the door and address the group. He'll take a quick glance around and maybe be slightly confused as to why Eladin isn't around. But he'll make to clear the dishes and offer to show you to the other guests or take you to the sauna or the pool, or if you need to use the bathroom or visit the library. He offers to or visit the shrine. There's also a god and goddess shrine as well. He just recommends places to tour, if you will. As he clearly has not seen your group around here before. He's seen the other people who are here. We can come back to this if you want to think about it.
Kunlu's gonna look over to Miss Mensha and Zane and be like, might as well meet these other guests. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Are the god and goddess something that Kaladishians would frown upon? Well, the current Kaladishians would frown upon?
Yes.
Oh, we
Yeah.
definitely got to go to that shrine then.
All right. Here's what I'll do. I'll take your plates and dirties with me, and you will follow. We'll take you to the dining area, and from there, after you've socialized a bit, we can visit the shrine. That would be we are very much able to do so.
That sounds like
May May I suggest that we go to the shrine and then talk with the guests?
You'd like to go to the shrine first? I don't see why not. It's not like these dishes are going to grow mold in the next couple of minutes.
Yay!
Alright. You guys will move to follow him. He'll move this direction, and then we're going to go back upstairs.
How old is Zane, by the way?
I think I did that one. 39.
Holy shit, he's older than me.
He's older than Fia.
He's
I think he's older than
twice as
everyone.
older than Eladon.
Yeah, I'm 36. Or the character is.
Zane's like
bad.
grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to give Atlee an age.
Make him older than
Atlee's
39, damn it.
memorial.
Oh, I made
thought-
a Fia 30, so
I mean, from his
What the
picture,
fuck?
he's fairly young.
Atlee will probably be like 22,
Mm-hmm.
23.
Fuck.
y'all are all babies.
Yeah, Eladon's like 19, 20.
Oh my god.
Babies.
I killed someone with a minor.
I think the
You
oldest.
can't even drink.
The rules are a little different
I'm gonna
back
say,
in
it's
medieval
D&D
times.
world. I have a feeling I've been drinking since the age of about 10.
Atlee also lives in like Europe. Europe, you can drip it.
We
You can
had
drip
a
like at
mod.
like
That's
5.
That's true. That's true.
Alright.
It's not
Modern
like,
day, Eladon couldn't drink.
and if we're gonna be completely honest, it's not like people in America really follow the law. Over there.
I did. I did.
I did too because my dad paid me.
I like snuck a drink twice, and that was like the
Wow.
Ooh, you did it.
Yeah.
What a goody two shoes.
It really was. That's why I turned up in college. Buy me for vodka gummy bears that are.
Yeah, I was drinking at 14.
I
Oh,
still have not drank. We're on this discussion. Nope. At 28, never had alcohol.
You're 28.
Do you
oh, wow.
want alcohol? Is it or like?
No, I've never had any desire to.
I'm at that stage
'Cause I
now.
was like, listen, I'm getting in your car. I'm getting in the car. The one car we have right now, ignoring the car problems that I'm having, and I'm bringing you a bottle.
It's-
If
Here's
no
what
one's
we're gonna.
offered, you're gonna be your guide.
I'm going to, just so we're not like leaving everybody out like on visuals here, I'm gonna throw down everybody's site marker so you guys can see what's
Mhm.
going on the second floor.
I did.
Who should it be? It should be
Yeah,
like
I drank between the ages of about 14 and 30, and then I just stopped. I had enough, and that's all enough for me.
Alcohol is really overrated.
Mhm.
To be honest.
It's
It's
when you get to
expensive.
30 and you start with the 3-day hangovers. That's the issue.
Listen. Sometimes the 3-day hangovers are awful. But then sometimes you remember, man, I used to do this on a regular, and then you're like, I'm just gonna try harder. It's fine, y'all. It's fine. I'm just
I
trying
choose
to embrace
life.
the aging process.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
that's
you
silly. That's overrated.
You throw the cost in with 3-day hangovers, and it is just not worth it.
No, listen.
All right, everybody should be able to see through this bag of bones.
It's not
Where
foreboding
did
at
we
all
leave
whatsoever.
our buddy?
But there's a point.
Where's
Yeah,
Mort?
Mort should definitely be with us.
Oh, do you want? Do you want him? I could bring him in. I wasn't sure if he was.
Yeah.
Part of the distraction.
Yes, Mort
And he's my
can
buddy.
be a distraction. All right, I will
Plus, he's so gorgeous.
stick the floating skull with Ifia.
I like how we all
this
were
would-
like, wait, bones?
This would probably change the interactions you've had with the servants a little bit, but not like too
Well, what
tremendous.
if-
They've seen a lot of stuff.
You just like have it in your hand, you know? So just a
Right.
skull. Or maybe
Oh.
Kundalini can just hold it like a weird little.
I don't know.
Sure.
Given Eladon's interest in the weird and wonderful, I think we've seen something, as weird.
Mort's in Kundalini's arms and like in his. He's holding him like a football a little bit.
Yeah, you got him tucked. He hasn't actively revealed his presence yet.
Right. While they were bringing us the food and there was a little bit of a wait, Afia tried to feed him and see if he could at least taste the essence of the food. Just curiosity's sake.
He munched on it, left some teeth marks, and it kind of fell through his lower jaw.
Darn, this is depressing. We gotta make sure we get you a body that can eat.
I'm about to cast revive on him.
I'll have to take your word for it. I can't seem to taste anything. He clacks his jaw a little bit, as you
Your
can
cock is
tell.
so good. I didn't miss out.
All right.
I think a spirit.
Here we
We are sidetracked. So
All right.
sorry.
Sorry. Back to Eladin and Atli. Standing before you, which is a hulking, massive man. He's gilded up in this just steel plate that's riveted together, and it's got intricate patterns, all over it. He's got a nice. Is that a scar? Yeah, he's got a nice scar on the right side of his face that just travels, from like the tip of his mouth over the bridge of his nose and down across or up across his left eye. So it's scarred like the whole diagonal of his face. Eladin has indeed. You are aware of this man. You've ran into him before. He just goes by Blackguard. You don't have a name for him. Other than that, I will actually, because of that, I'm going to reveal his name tag just so we remember that.
Let God. Can Atli recognize his armor or weaponry? Like the like the brand
Yeah.
and the model of it?
Yeah. Let me see exactly. I believe he just has a.
I
Okay.
mean,
He has there's a small short bow over his, like, attached to his, like, there's like a clip on the rear of his armor, and then he also carries a glaive with him.
Oh, that's
A wicked looking glaive.
Wow. Oh, he's Sailor Saturn. You guys recently.
Is Atli able to understand perhaps even what smithy these came from?
You could make your perception is a passive perception. Okay, roll a perception check. If it's higher than your passive, we'll use it. Otherwise, you'll just get fairly basic information. It's not higher than your passive. All right, so it's very high quality. You'd be under the impression it was made in the city of Belize. It's in the Spanish-esque style that they use in this area. It's adorned with like red paint of some kind that has the resemblance to streaks of blood. I guess what would be some like stat information? The armor he's wearing is plate, which is AC 18. You would know. Other than that, you get a slight feeling of dread. Eladin would have this effect as well when you're close to him. When you could see him, he feels menacing.
Oh wow.
We'll make introductions. Blackguard, he is the leader, the head of the guards of the household. Does a fine job of keeping us all safe whilst in residence and protecting the homestead itself.
It is nice to meet you, Blackguard. I am Atli.
Hmm.
I'm looking up and down, like checking his armor out and stuff. Atli says
Yes,
this.
he's doing the same to you. In fact, you have a longsword, right? That's your.
I have a Yolakwa.
Yolakwa, right? That's the like wooden shaft with a kind of a spear or a long blade on the end of it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a yeah.
And then you also have a mace. It looks like as well.
I do have a mace, yes.
So he looks you up and down in much a similar manner than that you were doing to him. He gives a pretty maybe stern grunt And then comments to Eladin. Heard you wanted this guy to. I heard this guy wanted to come look through the armory. I cannot speak.
Yes, never quite one for words, were you, Blackguard? But yes, it would be appreciated. My friend here has an interest in weaponry of all kinds.
Well, the reason I travel.
We do have. I really. I keep using your accent badly. every one of these characters, I'm like using the bad British accent.
I was not going to comment. Just keep going. It's good.
I apologize. There was a little offside story. I used to work with a gal who was from Texas, and every time I would talk to her, it was just like I would unintentionally start speaking with this terrible Texas inflection. It was awful and embarrassing.
That's hilarious.
I
Very
do
cute.
apologize. Monica was her name. She's a great lady, but it was just hard to talk to her. It was like I was mocking everything she was saying. Just not intended.
You're just like, I'm gonna insult you every time we talk to each other. You're gonna hate me.
So that explains
dang.
every character you make.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay.
Love.
Does a lot.
Love.
Very endearing.
What did they say? Copying is the highest form of flattery.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's true or not.
Jackson, Davey, they sound the same.
They say
All right.
imitation. It's close enough.
So the blackguard, turns and gestures for you to follow over his shoulder, and he makes a little ways to this door and enters the armory proper.
As we're walking in and Atlee's following behind, with Eldon, Atlee doesn't whisper, but keeps the voice semi-quiet while also talking to Eldon to act like he's trying to keep it quiet so Blackguard doesn't hear, but obviously lets Blackguard hear it. And saying, and talks about how interesting Blackguard's weapon is. And I'm like, oh, it looks like he has a more of that Spanish-esque styled weapon. And what are those marks on his weapon? It seems pretty interesting. Was it made by a local smithy here? And Outlee's kind of just talking up how interested he is in the armor and apparel that he's wearing to kind of show his interest in weaponry.
Okay. You don't notice any particular reaction, but clearly he would have heard you. All right. So entering the armory proper, there is quite a bit going on here. You've got we can move the bones can follow anywhere they'd like if you guys would like to move them. I just ask that you don't explore outside of where the characters have actively been. So there's a large table. I need to turn off snap to center. There's a table here with several varieties of shields, round shields, kite shields, leaning against the wall over here. There is a tower shield, which is like a full body size shield. Various swords, rapiers, crossbows. There's some more foreign weapons on this wall. Maybe there's a couple curved swords of the like, and various other styles and such. And then some long-handled weapons, such as a glaive, and maybe there's even a lance in this collection over here. You'll also see that there's a table. It's not prepared. There's no food on it. But clearly, people gather here, and you would both make note of the fireplace here, which you are aware of as a secret entrance from the barracks.
I will make a show of pointing out various weapons, whilst then saying into Atlee's head, just take a quick look. See if there's anything of note. We can perhaps send Zane in through the chimney later to retrieve something.
Atlee will start looking around. He'll walk over to the shields, and start looking at them and kind of comparing them to the shield he has on his back.
Yes, you have the Sentinel shield. Is that correct? That's
yes,
right.
I do. Yes, I have Sentinel shield.
Okay. None of these appear magical in nature.
Okay.
So comparing them to your own, yours is you'd be of the opinion that yours is superior. You wouldn't know that inherently, but you'd be of the opinion that yours is superior.
Yes. I'll be like, I'll kind of like nod, and I'll almost like picking like the shields up, looking at it very closely, looking at not even just the shield itself, but looking at like the stitching, the embroidery, the entire, I guess even like the hammer strikes I would have seen that a blacksmith would have done into the shield. Then I would switch over to weapons behind it, and while I'm doing this, I will also be kind of glancing around the room. At one point, I'll even take one of the weapons off the counter over here and kind of like pick it up, and I don't want to say wave it around, but like pick it up and kind of like look at it, so it gives me an easier way to look around the room.
You're like testing its
Even-
balance.
Yeah, so yeah, kind of like I'm holding it and maybe even doing like a little of a practice trick with it. But while doing that, I'll be maybe looking around the areas over here while doing that, and then I'll just be doing that, kind of like moving around, checking the things out, and maybe even a little bit of a quick cursory stop over on the weapons over here too, and doing the exact thing. Maybe one of the rapiers over there.
One other thing you would notice is there is what appears to be a locked case against the far wall here. There's no like glass panels or anything. It's just big, heavy wooden doors, and it's clearly containing something.
Is it
It's
locked?
locked. There is a visible lock on it. Yes.
Huh.
The blackguard at this point has crossed his arms. He's kind of like tapping one of his armored fingers against the steel. It's like a annoying tap, 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 tap.
Atlee? Oh, do I want to do that? Since Eldon talked to my head, that means I can respond back to him, right?
Nope.
Never mind.
It's one way, I'm afraid.
Well, I'm thinking because I have Mage Hand, and I can use Mage Hand without any components, so I can just cast it.
Is it
So
still verbal?
No, it says you can cast this cantrip without verbal or somatic components, and you can make the hand invisible.
No verbal or somatic. Yeah. Yes, that's essentially
I like connect.
yeah, undetectable essentially.
Yes. And Blackguard, from my appraisal of him, seems very much only like a melee combatant.
Yeah, he had. I mean, there is a last resort short bow attached to his back, but yes, the glaive in his hands looks very formidable.
So yeah, well, Atlee will be maybe he'll pick up a glaive like Blackguard is holding. While he picks it up, he invisibly casts Mage Hand. He doesn't move it just yet to see if Blackguard reacts.
Blackguard, maybe when you pick up the glaive, maybe he sees it, in your hands. It fits, it's a well suited weapon for you. It looks, it's a good height, and you get, the good reach with it and everything like that. Maybe he gives another grunt and a little nod. That weapon suits you, I think.
It does feel good in my hands. And seeing, and as we're now talking, I'm gonna slowly have my Mage Hand move over towards the case, and as it gets closer, I'm going to just continue to see if he reacts, and if he does react, I'm just going to straight up dispel it.
He does not appear to have any knowledge of the Mage Hand.
So
Let me just double check that to be sure. No, He has nothing that would allow him to detect such a instance.
Perfect. So as we are talking, and my mage hand finally reaches the case, right as it's about to turn the doorknob to see if it's locked or not, I am going to start speaking a little bit loudly, and I'll be like, "This glaive is very interesting," and then I'm going, and I have never used a two-handed weapon before, and I start to swing a little bit, but as I'm kind of between the wall and the table right here, I accidentally like bonk the bottom of the table chair. I don't knock any of the weapons off, but I do knock it. So some of the weapons maybe fall a little on the pile and they start shaking. And as they start shaking, I have my mage hand turn the handle on the knob very slightly to see if it's unlocked or locked.
All right. For a reference point, I'm going to throw an image of Glaive, because I wasn't exactly sure what it looked like, into the Fabled stuff on Discord. If anybody cared to see what that looked like. So I'm going to
On a sword, like a sphere with a sword head.
Okay.
Sailor Saturn.
So
It's more like a dagger.
yes. So you rattle some stuff around. Your mage hand attempts the handle with the visible lock, and it does not move.
Okay.
In this process, the Blackguard also does not notice.
Fortunately, having the little bit of a tumble of the weapons masquerading the noise of the hand, I now dispel the mage hand, and I'm like, oh, shoot, sorry, Blackguard, it may sit well in my hand, but I still have never used one of these before, so I guess I was a little bit off. I put the glaive down quickly and I rearrange the weapons on the table right here.
Aladdin's just
Yes.
hype up and giggle and so, well, you good at everything else. You can't be good at everything, can you now?
Oh, thank. Oh my
The
goodness.
Blackguard will much practice is needed. That is for sure. And he will actually make a display of his own. You'll see he's like butterly. Is that the right word? He's very smooth.
Betterly?
No, he's smooth like butter. He'll make you'll notice his footwork
There you go.
is especially impressive, and he's he moves with the weapon, and you'll notice he strikes a couple times with the rear of it, and he'll spin around and then stab the air in your direction. The blade will come very, very close. Actually, I'm going
It will,
to
because it's
roll.
breach weapon.
I'm going to roll for that. I roll. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I get hit!
So the blade sweeps through the air and just takes a lock of your hair off. There's a little shower as the blonde hair floats slowly to the ground.
Aladdin's just gonna. How could you? He's a guest in our house, Blackguard. Thought you were better than this.
And having too much of the bubbly.
The Blackguard really enjoyed his performance. He's not particularly sorry for cutting your hair either. He'll give Eladin a side eye, and I think your guest here has outlived his welcome in my armory. Would you please exit the facility?
I rather think we should before you cause any more injury to him. Come.
If I had wanted to injure him, there wouldn't be anything left.
It was rather close enough.
I'm about to shake his hand and cast Inflict Wounds.
God,
What's
please
the damage on that? 3d10?
don't.
Oh, yeah,
You could
Inflict Wounds, yeah, 310.
You could upcast it to 5d10.
I could upcast the 510.
Now we're asking us through the body, kids.
He
Not a crit.
he places the butt of the glaive back on the ground and tucks it into his shoulder.
Eldon is just going to hold his arm out as in motioning. Come, I am so sorry. So sorry. I hope it doesn't cause too bad of an impression on myself and my father.
Before. Oh wait. So I want to do two things. The first thing I do is I reach over. I bend down to pick my hair up off the ground, and while I do that, I look under the table to see if anything is hidden under there.
I like the thought. Sure. There's a dagger taped to the underside of the table.
Cool. I can't really grab that because I'm getting watched by Blacker, but it's cool to know.
I will make a note of that on the map. Not for you, but for me.
I will pick my hair back up, and then as Eldon calls it back over, I will say, I'm sure it was a mistake. He was just showing he was just showing off his skills with the glaive I just tried using myself.
Still, to remove your hair, I mean, it's rather impressive. Come now, there is a one less item I think you may be interested in. About to walk him out, putting my hand on the small of his back.
As Atlee
Just
does this,
ignoring Blackguard.
Atlee tries casting mending on his hair.
I don't know. It has no effect.
Dang it.
Or wait.
That's even worse. You know if
An
he is gonna be mad
object
at you, right,
you
Atlee?
touch. I mean, the hair is considered an object after his left. No. With
but the rest of his hair.
yeah, it has no effect.
I had to try.
I believe that does have auditory, though. It does. The Blackguard will make a comment. The Blackguard will make a comment about your words and tongues he doesn't necessarily recognize. Hey, none of that spell casting in here. It's a place for weaponry.
Just trying to reattach my hair, seeing if I could.
He seems incredibly confused by that statement. He gets a bewildered look on his face, and then he quickly wipes it off, and it tasted bad.
Going to exit, pull Atlee out, and then rather not slamming, but rather firmly close the door behind me, sealing Blackguard in.
Open all the doors. Click, 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 click. Yes. All right.
One last stop by. What I said it was, but the sword.
Yes, it is just around the corner. In fact, right here.
Once.
Just around the riverbed.
All right, we are going to head down below for a minute. So our other group here is following Sinclair. He will give, a little. They'll stop for a moment as you guys enter the opening to the great room. It's a vaulted ceiling. There's a head table, very fancy looking and such. There's a stage in the center that is on a raised platform. Above that stage is a chandelier on the ceiling. There's also several tables in which people would sit, and a large, grand piano over here. He will point this kind of stuff out.
Oh, go down.
And then continue heading to the north a little ways. As you get closer, he'll point at the door.
You got stuck.
Did she stuck again?
Sliding all. Oh. No, it just keeps sliding everywhere, and it won't go where I need it to go. So I can't get down the bottom. It's like
Mort's inside the chimney.
That's so pretty.
Remember, Mort's still.
Look at that piano.
Okay. Sinclair will.
Very beautiful dining hall.
Yes, yes, it is. It's been here since the building was built. It was one of the first parts finished. We've used it a great many times to host people of importance and friends and family and the like.
Wait, was it renovated? Like all
Uh,
original?
he would. That's a good question. He would make probably reference that the floor had been replaced at one point, after, but fairly poor accident that someone had had. um, Other than that, everything else is original. Sinclair will knock lightly on the door in front of him, and you'll hear a female voice from the interior. Yes? Who knocks on the door? It's I, Sinclair. Well, you may open it. He opens the door to reveal. We could just open both doors. To reveal a fairly small shrine with a window out to the right into the hallway. This door here, there is a prayer bench of sorts kind of thing. There's maybe a treasury box sitting in front of it, and then there's a statue of a winged creature, and then below the winged creature, there's a plethora of various smaller deity statues, if you will. Maybe they're toy-sized.
You mean like little figures?
Yeah, like you'd place on a grid map,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like mini figures?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're figures that are mini. Yeah,
Maybe like tokens?
someone could say tokens.
Afia's gonna look in from the outside, and I don't know what a Kaladeshian sign of the cross would be, but they're gonna say something in Kaladesh. Question mark, and before entering, and be like, oh, I mean, I don't think Afia is
What,
that, but
uh,
making the
can I
affectation.
can I try to identify the religion?
Of the angel statue in particular. You would inherently. I don't even think you'd have to roll for it. So I don't actually have it written down, but it's one of the major deities. Now, Bariz is very open.
Diverse.
Yes, diverse is a good word for it. So this is probably. Ifia would notice that there is not the Kaladesh, the one. There is not a figurine for the one as the Kaladesh would understand it. But again, you're not.
I have a question as you continue.
Yeah.
No. Finish your statement. Then I'll ask.
Okay. Kundali, you would just recognize it as one of the major, maybe power goddesses of sorts.
Goddess of power.
Yeah, but I don't have a specific name other than something to that effect.
Okay. Silver.
Oh, sorry. I was mentally okay, what do I know about this? So I have a question about Kaladesh. Are they? Because I'm is it more Muslim African inspired, or is it more Christian African inspired? Because then I have two different approaches to Kaladesh.
Right. I'm not entirely. I want to say it's Ottoman, but I'm not entirely sure. Which Ottoman Empire would have been more? I believe on the Muslim side. I think, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So Okay, so then Afia is going to approach this if as a Kaladeshian, quote unquote, um, with kind of like a that's weird kind of approach since they would be used to seeing like symbols of their god, but no physical manifestation of their god, like not statues of them. You can write their
Yes.
name all pretty, but you can't do this. So that's why Afia's here, because Afia
Idolatry.
totally follows the Kaladeshian rules of
Right.
cleric
Well, a point of reference for, I guess, your backstory. The Kaladesh are the conquerors of your. Now, they conquered it before you were born, so you were raised under Kaladesh rule. But
Okay.
you would know all of like the local stuff that was hidden from like the Kaladesh captors. So you'd recognize some of the tokens and such. You would
Okay.
probably even recognize the main one. But in the right, because you're playing a Kaladesh, your princess kind of thing or whatever, royalty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I missed. Sorry, I completely forgot about that point. That's excellent. Yes. That is good role playing on your part. I just forgot.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I was just like, let me just make sure, because I was like, let me double check. Let me be positive that I'm approaching this as Afia would. Okay, so Afia is like curious and gonna introduce themselves as Lady Amaranth. Amaranth. Guys, I forgot how we say my characters.
Amaranth?
Secrets. Amaranth. Okay. All right, we got this.
Your character.
I didn't. My character's false identity is actually Kalisa Al-Jalani, which I should have took, and is going to introduce themselves to this person here.
Yes.
Oh, it's a couple! Yay!
So the lady before you was currently kneeling, but she will stand up and stick out a hand to shake. She's
Mm.
she looks to be more of the guard type than just a regular, shrine visitor. You could probably make the connection. She's some sort of clerical entity of sorts. Maybe like a healer among the guard pool or something. So she will offer her hand to shake, and then notice your. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. We need to make a second pile of bones.
I got a little curious as to what was going on. Sorry.
That's fine. I was like, Eladin teleported. What is going on? All right, here's a second pile of bones.
I shall move myself back.
Bye. Nope, now
Oh,
you're stuck in a wall.
I trapped you. All right, we're back now.
There we go.
The bones. The bones speaks. Yes. Yeah. So the cleric addresses Amarath. Yes.
Okay, so we're changing this character's name because, good God, we're already struggling, and I'm not helping. So it's Khaleesi, and we're just gonna go with that.
Okie dokie.
Because all I can think. Listen, I didn't choose the Game of Thrones, but I can't remember if I'm pronouncing the Mass Effect name correctly.
That's fine. I didn't watch the
So-
show anyway. Khaleesi, got it.
At least.
Madame
I'm
Khaleesi.
struggling with names. The war flashbacks that I'm having right now.
What brings you to the Manticore's mansion? She has a little grovel at the end of her sentences. There's like a at the end.
Oh, okay. What did she say her name was again? Or did she say it? Did I blink and miss it?
She did not
Oh, okay.
say her.
I ain't got no.
I have her written down as cleric. But we could name her whatever you'd like.
She is
Her
also
name
Josephine.
is.
Her name
I was
is
gonna be like
Josephine.
Bob. Her name is Bob too. Everybody gets the name Bob. When you don't know, you fill in Bob.
Bobbert. Josephine will be her name.
Okay, Josephine.
or Josie for
Okay.
sure.
Okay, so now I'm just having Dragon Age flashbacks. Okay. Yes, Khaleesi, Lady Khaleesi. It's nice to meet you. What? Oh, Josie.
There was an L.
Oh
I was like,
boy.
I was like, Lucy, that's not right. We're doing so fine. He, she said her name, your name is Josephine or Josie. No, you said it, but we don't know her yet. Yes, nice to meet you, Lady Khaleesi Al-Jilani. A pleasure, I'm sure.
Yes, of course.
And you are?
Josephine. But, my friends all call me Josie.
Oh. Well, Josephine, I'm touring this lovely home with Sir Aladdin. I just wanted to see what other areas got up to in there. And like, Sophia looks around, quaint surroundings. Kind of like, y'all could do better, but okay.
Friends of Aladdin, you say? I haven't. Man, I'm doing the bad English again. Um, I need like voices in my head, like with like I need like a button that gives me like an Australian accent or something that says, "Here, use this," Polish accent or something. So then not everything is British. Um,
We're in Spain. Think Spanish.
yeah, I don't really know a Spanish accent.
Whatever Oberyn was in. Oh, you don't
I
watch the show, so
It's
never mind.
okay. It's all right. It's fine. Yeah, she'll respond kind of excitedly. She clearly recognizes who Eladin is and has not heard from or seen him in a long, long time.
Oh, okay.
So this would be one of the guardsmen that Eladin would have some sort of connection with.
Okay, I'll be slightly nicer then. Yes, friends. I've also brought along two of my compatriots to escort me, uh, and I like gesture to them. We just wanted to see this lovely area of yours. You maintain it, yes?
Yes, myself, and another of my similar stature.
Oh. Are they here as well? Could we meet them?
She is off duty at the moment, but the guard change is in a couple hours if you stick around.
Hours.
Couple hours in this hallway.
Oh, we
No,
won't
we're not
be
staying that
sticking
long.
around.
I literally could not. And was changed. Oops. Yay. Sorry, taking notes. Okay, we got a couple hours before maybe the information rolls around. Okay, and would you mind talking a little bit about your shrine? And it's like just looking. Afia's just like keeping people busy right now. Just chatting.
Yeah,
Is
Having a nice
yeah,
Sinclair
little chat.
is Sinclair still with us, or is he like?
yeah. He is. This is where you asked him. You asked for him to show you. He will. Maybe he looks a little antsy. You could see him tapping his foot because he needs to get back to his duties. But you did ask him to show you to the shrine. So he
Sinclair, if you need to get back to your duties, I mean, we go down this hallway, take a right, we're back in the waiting room, right?
the lobby is indeed here.
So,
And then if you went this way, the family room is here.
yeah. So Sinclair, if he wants to get back to his things, pretty sure we can get back to where we need to go.
You
If you
do. Here's the thing. Okay, you will not. No persuasion roll necessary. He does. He does not like to. He's very punctual. He likes to do his stuff in a timely manner. So he will nod graciously and make the comment that he will return shortly if you get back to you. Come find you again if you wanted to visit anywhere else in the.
Nope. I wanted to nudge Kundali to stay right there to block me. I'm interested in this door.
This door.
Mm.
The colored door. You would. Okay, you get a. The doors are. There's windows. There's glass in these doors, and they're a tad bit fogged up. You'd catch the smell of the scent of water and maybe some sort of chemically smell.
It's like a,
pool.
bathroom.
Yeah, it's a pool, specifically. Yes, which you would have seen on Eladin. I guess you didn't really have a map technically, but Eladin would have told you that there was.
one.
Yes, you would have described there was one. Yeah. Meanwhile, while you're over here looking, examining that, the Josie here will excitedly walk over and like one after another name and like fidget with all the little figurines and describe to Effia who they are and their purpose in the hierarchy of their godly patronage or whatever. Something else that would have been noticed, Kundali, I believe, is the only one with a real line of sight on him right now. There is another beefy looking guard right over here at the base of what you would know as the staircase up to the Manticore's office. So, cleric is doing that. Zane, did you want to open the door and examine the pool, or are you just recognizing that it's close by?
Just taking part in fellow activities of the evening.
Okay.
My time is coming to an end.
You don't hear any audio of any sorts coming from the pool. Maybe there's, like I said, the glass is fogged up and such. You will, at some point, hear the clomping of steel boots as a knight does around the corner. And these two had returned to their pattern over here. But this is a new knight that you hadn't seen previously. All right, so the cleric will go over that stuff with Khaleesi. And we will go back to the top floor. Mr. Aladin and Atlee.
Yes.
You've entered what seems to be a little bit of a hall of trophies, if you will. There's various glass cases with collections of such valuable items, and this is suit of armor that has there's a nameplate engraved like in front of it, and it says like Sir Monty Python. Or the black. No, it's the Black Guard. Sorry, I didn't watch the movies. It's the Black Guard. Maybe with like a little quote underneath it that says, "'Tis just a scratch." Other than that, various other intricate, things. There's another wine rack because there are chairs here, and maybe there's a couple books laid out on this table, and then the sword in specifics is here, and it has a framed painting above it of Bertrand, which is Eladin's father, and the current monarch. They're kind of like they're painted like holding maybe it's a painting of him like transferring the sword to Eladin's father or something. And then there's a plaque that tells you the short story behind where the sword came from and whose it was previously and who it belongs to now.
Rather loudly so the guard can hear. Yes, a gift from the monarch himself to my father as in extreme gratitude. Something I think you rather would enjoy. Something of such significance. As I'm saying all this, I just want to inspect the sword. Seem enchanted in any way, arcane, or is it simply a finely made trophy piece?
Right. You do not. Okay, you don't have detect magic. It. I mean, without any sort of knowledge beyond the visible, it's ornate. It's beautifully designed. It looks like it could. It's not. It's not like a dress up weapon. It looks sharp. You could kill somebody with it. It does appear as if someone has oiled it recently, possibly. There's no signs of rust on it, but there's definitely a sheen on the metal. Other than that, there doesn't seem anything to be anything inherently magical about it.
That reaches for his crowbar.
Is
It's
it
a foldable.
behind a glass case, or is it
It
just?
is. It is.
It is, yeah. Upon saying this, I will then wrap my arm around Atli's waist and look at him again loudly, hopefully in earshot of the guard up top. Perhaps, however, we should. You would like a little more private explanation as to the origins of this sword. Start to
Yes.
lead him back towards the master quarters.
Yes. So the traveling ways to get there, which would be, it doesn't look like. Yeah, you would just end up
That's it.
going.
Up
Up
around.
here, down. That door's locked. Which you wouldn't necessarily know. Why do I have the door locked? Okay, that door should not be locked. Door is now locked. Not locked. Yeah, so it'd be here, here, and then up to here is the entrance. As you're walking around and heading towards the quarters, there will be another veteran guard standing by. He pays little attention to you, but he's definitely got his eye on you as soon as you rounded the corner.
I have my arm around Atli's waist, leaning into him. Yes, I'm sure you'll enjoy seeing where I spent most of my time growing up here. Just casually walk past the guard.
His eyes follow you, but other than that, he seems mostly uninterested.
As we pass the guard, I will say into Atli's head, I apologise, and then snake my hand in between the plates of his armour, in full visibility of the guard.
Oh.
Ship sailing.
We
We
will
can't move
then.
the bone.
The bones are stuck in a wall.
Oh, bones are stuck in a wall. Bones are no longer stuck.
I'll then retrieve my key, lock the door.
Ah, they have changed the locks.
That changed looks.
There we go. I will step through myself, and then, as a show, reach for the front of Atli's armor and just pull him into the room. Close the door behind us.
You hear a slight chuckle from the hallway. All right, so you have entered your previous accommodations. The door to your bedroom is closed. There is a window off the back walkway into the backyard. There's this door that divides the two masters' quarters. And other than that, the room looks mostly untouched since you had last been here.
I will quickly enter, pulling Atli along behind me. I'm assuming there is a way to call a servant, bell pull or some way. I will mess my own hair up. I will ruffle the covers on the bed, and then I will. Just going to go for it again. Say, whisper to Atli, "I do apologise." Mess his hair up, and then attempt to make him look dishevelled and sort of half undressed.
My shoulder pads taken off.
Yeah. Shoulder pads off. Under armour just sort of pulled slightly askew, and then I will ring for a servant to be called to us.
It will be a minute or so before anybody shows up because nobody is in close vicinity.
I will then jog up and down on the spot.
I guess I'm doing push-ups.
Trying to get myself a little flush.
Yes, 2 push-ups.
All right. After your brief stint of exercising, you hear a knock at the door.
I stand up.
I'm going to push Atli onto the bed.
It is a single, by the way.
Yeah, as if that matters. And I'm going to go to the door to my room and call for them to enter. And I will crack the door widely enough so that I can peer out and so that Atli is slightly visible.
All right. Sabrina enters, which is one of the more recent additions that you have a little interaction with. Yes, my lord. Is there something I can do for you?
Was rather hoping it would be Francis, but did mention to him earlier that I would need a little private time in here. Now, my friend here, now motions slightly to Atli on the bed, is a little put off by the fact there is somebody standing in the hallway. Wondering if you could perhaps get Francis to remedy that situation. And also, I believe my guests may need entertaining. Perhaps if it could be suggested to them that they put on a show. They're quite adept at entertaining people themselves. The lady's magician is quite good at fire tricks. I'm led to believe.
She seems actually kind of intrigued by what you suggested. She's been here not a particularly long time, and she hasn't seen any fireworks or any displays of magic since she really got here, because there hasn't been a lot of guests recently. So she will clap her hands a little bit and maybe see. That is an excellent idea. Although I'm not too sure about the god. I'm doing it again, but I'm not too sure about the god. I understand your predicament, and I can mention it to Francis, of course.
If you could, it has been this way in the past. They're quite aware of, certain situations. Things tend to get a little loud. I tell you what, as some form of recompense, shall we say, how about, with my permission of the Manticore himself, all repercussions shall come back on me. Why don't the staff all go and enjoy this entertainment as well? Aside of the, completely necessary guards.
We've never done anything like that.
And I think it would be quite a treat, don't you?
It does sound like quite a bit of fun.
Freaking newbie.
Listen,
So
they have to walk around for 8 hours. You know they're tired. Let them rest.
If it is needed, you can certainly send Francis to corroborate my orders with me.
yeah. So
Although,
I
wouldn't leave it too long, as this may get a little involved.
I will need a. You want persuasion, performance?
I would prefer persuasion or deception.
She doesn't have any real reason to doubt you. I'm more.
Persuasion it is then?
Yeah, more in the persuasion.
Mm-hmm. Please roll good. Mother of...
let me roll behind the screen for her just to be. Okay. She looks hesitant. Despite how fun you make it out to be, and the understanding that the potential embarrassment would be, she doesn't seem entirely convinced, even though she likes the idea. Maybe there's some way to convince her.
Yeah.
Outside of just asking.
Her intrigue, is it related to performance outside or the gossip of what is going on in this room?
All right. More the less so the intimate things, more so the group activity. She doesn't want to get in trouble for suggesting something that may.
I'm quite sure if you have any unease that, like I say, send Francis. He is, of course, in charge of the household, and it is ultimately his decision to come and check with me himself. But I am quite sure the Lady Khaleesi would be honoured to have the household of the Manticore enraptured by her staff's performance. I do believe it's quite something of a cultural thing to be revered in such a way. We can't be letting them down for the house now, can we? It may even shame my father himself.
Okay. All right. She will nod to that, and she will agree to at least mention it to Francis. She won't necessarily press the issue, but she'll mention it and mention that it was your request.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
And then she will ask if there's anything else you require.
Just privacy. Thank you.
Alrighty. She will exit and close the door behind her.
Alright, guys. I'm out of here. It's late. Tired. Long day.
Okie dokie.
Right.
Fable knows what I'll be doing with the group. It's just been a long week.
Yep, we've got like 30 minutes max left anyway. So, hey,
use my character how you need to.
Yep, we will catch you next time, Mark.
Yep.
How do I say
Next,
my
next
you
week I'll
later.
definitely be more
Alright, see you
prepared.
later, dude.
All right, guys, have a good one.
You too. Take
Have
care.
fun. Go rest.
Yep.
Sleep a deep.
When she's safely out of the room, I will turn to Atney and say, I am sincerely sorry about this. It must feel rather awkward, but may get worse.
Worse? How?
We may have to make noise.
Oh. That would be interesting to do, to the least.
All right,
We don't
France.
have to actually make the noise. Remember?
No,
No,
no.
no,
No, I'm not
we
making
don't.
noise.
I'm
not making noise.
laughing.
I'll send my characters, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Francis is doing his thing. We're running down there. Okay, we're gonna go back down to the shrine.
And it's gonna take me 15 minutes to figure out how to get this map to work properly. What?
Oh, can I drag your attention? I think that should drag you over
Yep.
here.
Oh, that's cool.
It should work.
Movie map.
All right, so Josie would have at this point showed you all of the miniatures and told their significance and all that various sorts of stuff. She could probably gab on for a while.
Yeah. I'm gonna thank Josie for that stunning knowledge of the goddess, and just thank them for all their attention and time. And I'm gonna depart from the room.
All right. Sinclair at this point has again showed up and is waiting for directions.
We want to go see the other guests, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
We would
Yes, that is true. You did mention that. All right. This night would have moved on. Those ones are still there. We're good there. Good there. Those guys are good. All right. He would lead you on a short jaunt, and you guys would end up this door here.
wrong way. Wrong way. Wrong way. Doo.
You would catch a glimpse of Sabrina and Francis having a short whispered conversation, and he would have scooted past you and up the staircase. So he would have scooted past and up the stairs. But the dining hall is just ahead, and Sinclair would bring you there. And Sabrina is also there with you. Those two are still in the kitchen. We're good there. Yep.
Ask him what was the statue here.
Oh.
I don't want to stop.
It's just decoration mostly.
Oh,
It.
I wasn't sure if it was like another goddess statue.
Right. It wasn't. It's not of any particular deity or anything like that. Just a neat little statue. So there is 5 people occupying this room, other than the 2 servants and two ladies and 3 men. Lady 1, lady 2, man 1, 2, and 3. And they're all making quite a ruckus. They've finished eating at this point. They are beginning to drink fairly heavily.
Oh.
Maybe the most. They all appear to still be mostly sober at this point. But you can. One of them like claps out, like claps his hands and gestures to Sabrina over here and is like, more wine, more wine. That was excellent vintage you brought us before. Do you have more like it? Sabrina nods and will go to retrieve another bottle.
Y'all don't live here and y'all getting this messy? Ooh, not a good look. And Sophia like turns to Kundali and like tries to keep a neutral face but doesn't quite manage it and just kind of just frowns like her displeasure is clear. We don't get messy in other people's houses. We get messy in our own homes. And then fixes their face and is like, "Oh, are we celebrating something? Love to see it."
All right. So Sabrina also would have gotten permission from Francis to ask you guys about this. So she will do as Eladin had asked, and will walk up and ask Miss Khaleesi,
Mhm.
Madame, I hear your entourage can make quite the spectacular displays. They're very talented, I'm told. I'm sure our other guests here would love a show. Is that something they'd be willing to do for us?
Yes, of course. I would love to put on a show for you and your host. Let me just confer. Is there a celebration that we should be enjoying or a wedding? What are we aside from the show? Uh, it's even better if we have a delight
Something to
to enjoy
celebrate.
from it. Of course.
Um, she would. She doesn't often. There's no like holidays or anything.
Maybe the guests are the ones to celebrate for.
Yeah, yeah. She gives a little side eye towards the table, and as they consistently are loud and fairly rude, if you will.
Yeah, we can see that. Would you and your friends like to enjoy the show as well? I would love for you all to see the talents of my entourage.
It was suggested to Francis that we gather the help, and if this display is as spectacular as Eladin has, who he was the one who suggested this, of course, as he seems to have suggested, it sounds like it'd be once in a lifetime. We would all love to observe.
Yes, you know what? I think you should ensure this to sweeten the deal. Um, those who come can get and like Afia like pulls from their bag one of their recent purchases, a bit of fabric to take with you. You can stitch it into something nice for yourselves. I think I have so many colors, and I would like to gift you all for putting up with. And then she kind of tilts her head and leans towards the group. Your guest and myself. You all have been so lovely.
Sabrina is fairly well clothed, nothing super extravagant. They do get paid a reasonable enough wage, but she examines this cloth that you hand her, and she's mighty impressed with it, and she
Pay a
hasn't.
good deal of money, so it better be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that cost you a lot of gold.
She
Like, I'm just saying.
yeah. She doesn't have quite the eye for that sort of stuff as you
Y'all is
do, but she is very grateful
y'all
for
is
the gift.
disappointing. Okay. Because I need more fashionable people. Like, get on the good foot, Sabrina. You were supposed to be the chosen one. You had a cute headscarf and everything, girl. Get on it. Um, but yeah, so just invite your friends. Just come.
All
They're
right.
Maybe,
quite talented, I must
and
say.
since Kurt was gonna chime up, and since we're Gonna have so many people, it might be best not to do it in the dining room. There's that like podium. I forget. Down the hall, there's that big party room.
Yes, the Great Room, as it's so called.
Hmm
Yeah,
It'd
that'd
probably
be
be
a
much
wonderful place to
safer.
perform.
Yeah, also much safer for our little salamander friend to truly let his power shine.
For
agree.
sure. All right. Sabrina will go over and confer with Sinclair. At this point, Palmer will also show up over here and look over the crew. Maybe he gives a small disapproving look you catch on his face. And Sinclair will chime up and address all of the guests, including you guys. It seems our entertainment for the evening has arrived. Would you all please join us in the Great Room for a performance of the ages? The guests all look up and they, maybe the ladies ooh and ah, and one of the gentlemen claps and cheers a little bit, and then they will all get up, bringing their glasses with them, of course, and head over to the Great Room. As it is. Palmer will start cleaning up, and as Palmer is cleaning up, Sabrina will be sure to mention to him that all of everyone is invited. Drag these guys around a little bit. Somewhere over here is the bones. Grab Zane. All right. We will move everybody. I think this is. All right, here's what we're gonna do. One more role play thing here with Francis and Eladin, and then we're going to call it here and start back up the next time with the commencement of the distraction or celebratory things, such as it is. So,
The plan.
going back to the upper room. There's again a knock at the door.
Shout again, enter. Repeat the process of cracking the door to my room.
Francis peers in. Everybody decent?
Yes, for the moment, Francis, if you wouldn't mind entering.
Francis will come all the way up to the door, and he will say, yeah, we'll say he closed the door behind him. He'll speak in a little bit of a lower tone, attempting to hide his voice a little bit, if you will. All right. He will say, I'm not sure what he'll say. He'll just come in and look about the room. Or about the crack of the room, since you only have the door open a little bit.
Perhaps it's better if we talk in here, Francis. It's not what you think. But I will open the door out fully and invite him in.
He will hesitantly enter, but then he'll be able to see through the facade that you've created. But yeah, so
Apologies. I was hoping to keep you in the dark for your own safety. I do feel I can trust you. My father is involved in something he shouldn't. I need to know what it is to protect the family name, to protect myself and my mother. We, myself and my friend here, need that guard out of the hallway. If you can help, We need it. Otherwise, any attempt to do it myself. I just don't want harm to come to anybody.
Ah, I see. Well, the best way to get the guards to move is, of course, create a problem somewhere else for them to go deal with. Do you have something in mind?
Already set in motion a distraction.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I do believe they're going to create rather a disturbance, a lot of noise, a good show, but something that can definitely be passed off as an exhibition of sorts. All we need to do is to ensure that he is out of the hallway for a couple of minutes. Let us do what we
I know this one here posted up. He's of the very loyal type. Doesn't like to leave his post. We'll need to make some other reason for him to leave. He won't leave for any old tomfoolery show display.
And then, if I can leave it up to you, Adam, to accomplish our goal, perhaps if a member of the house was to be injured in some way, and of course, I need their aid. I think perhaps.
He thinks for a moment. That just might do it. Who did you have in mind?
Me.
You wish to be injured?
I think the son of the Manticore being injured is rather more important than anybody else here, and I wouldn't wish to injure any of you. They are here to protect us, after all.
Yes. He thinks for a moment. You really do have a good... You really do have a good head on your shoulder, Eladin. Much more intelligent than I am. How do you propose we do this?
Well, I was going to hurt. I was thinking I may, and I will air quotes, accidentally slip from the balcony.
Wow.
You get his attention, show him what has happened, and he has to rush to come and help.
That does sound fairly painful.
Yeah, that's...
The balcony is not quite. We'll call it 20 feet. So 2d6 fall damage. But you can, of course, if you were intentionally trying to injure yourself, or at least feign injury, you'd be able to, use that as cover for however you end
I'm
up.
going to intentionally injure myself.
Okay, so you would
I think I'm going
jump
to
off
fall to injure myself more than I would simply falling.
Beat himself out the window.
Possibly land feet first. I don't know.
Yes.
I'll figure that out.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Something like that. You would just.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Francis clearly doesn't like the idea. He also understands the urgency of your predicament, and he's also, very on your side in this matter. While he's worked for your father for a long time, he's essentially stuck around because of your mother.
I'm going to hold his hands after his comment about me being more intelligent and just say, I tried to take after my mother. My father has more of an influence than I wish. What must be done, must be done.
All right, so we've got. I think we're gonna stop it there, and then when we resume, we'll have two instances going on at the same time. We'll have the Eladin distraction falling off the balcony, which will hopefully suck in a couple of guards, and then we've got our
What is Atlee supposed to do?
Break into the office, find the information, get out.
I got a freaking crowbar.
Hold on.
There's
Golden
a couple of small points before we set this in motion next time. I want to say to Francis that the entire household must not be alerted. It's to be kept discreet as possible. We don't want my actions in this air quotes again, actions in this bedroom getting out to the public. And I wish to give Atlee a piece of parchment on which I have painted a golden dragon, or the symbol of a golden dragon. And underneath are the words written, "You have awoken the dragon." And
I'm
that's to be
assuming
left.
we leave that on the
That's to be left on my father's desk in full view. I will also point out that if he was to swipe any of the any of his pride and joy, there are artifacts in there that my father greatly appreciates. I wish to hit him where it hurts.
Enter goblin commencing. You got it. Atlee will nod as he takes the paper and asks one final thing before setting the plan of motion. Assuming the door is locked, is there anything you have in your room here that I can use to engage or enter the door easily, whether that's tools specifically for that, or perhaps Francis even has an extra key that I can use?
I will look to Francis for this, because other than my own personal belongings, there's not much of use here. I will give you the carving fork I took. Perhaps this may be of use in breaking through the lock, but failing all else, you can staple the parchment to the desk with it.
Francis does not have a key for that door, for any of the doors into Bertrand's office. What's Atlee's max HP?
56.
56. Okay. Alrighty. Francis would be able to get you access if you were if we delayed this by, a couple minutes or rather. He could get you access to a lockpick set, because they do have those down in maintenance.
We
But
will delay it by a couple of minutes, that's fine.
Couple minutes. would be good.
And then let me roll something for him. GM.
He rolls a 100 and locks the door for me. Or not.
Oh, that's a different roll.
Oh.
I forgot I was rolling. I meant to be rolling those D100s in not GM mode, but I did roll something GM mode for him. So, while Francis thinks it's fairly, he doesn't like the plan, but he understands the lengths you have to go to, he will caution you about potential additional defenses that Bertram may have in his office itself. Francis doesn't have any direct knowledge of exactly what that would be, but he's definitely he's watched / heard guards talking about one thing or another that could, maybe whispers of, stay out of, don't ever open them doors when Bertram's not around, with like something to that effect.
I will reiterate to Atlee that at any sign of danger to himself, he is to get out. It is not worth it. Do not put yourself in harm or at risk of being caught. I will then also summon my pistol, my packed weapon, in my hand. Give it to Atnal.
Can I use it?
Anybody can use it, you just don't have proficiency. This is more of a... I expect you to use it. There's one shot. I expect you. It is more of an alarm than anything.
It's loud, yes.
This is very loud.
Okay. If I were to fire it, would that be bad news or I'm gone?
I would say that if you had to fire it, then I would vacate the area as quickly as possible, as it will draw attention to you.
That makes sense. Okay.
You can leave it, and it will disappear. You do not have to keep it with you.
That is convenient. That'll make it a whole lot easier too, actually. Okay.
All right, we are going to call that there and resume. Maybe next week, probably the week after.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure yet.
Got you.
Alrighty. I'm out. Thank you for playing.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Very enjoyable,
Thank you.
and we are right on the cusp. Wow, this is not at all scary.
I know, right?
Have a good night.
Good night.
Yeah, man, have a nice night, guys.
Alrighty. Thanks for watching / listening. If you made it this far, you will have heard my thanks. Otherwise, you won't. And that's on you. Have a good one. Goodbye.